You are starting a new software development project with fairly identified features. Senior management has expressed the needs for an expedited delivery strategy, emphasizing the release of project features as soon as they are ready to gain an advantage over competitors. Which delivery approach align best with this directive? So I can see it is adaptive life cycle recommendation. We are into new software development. It is not something which was already there, but the domain is fairly known. Yeah, so that's much is clear. Let's see the option. Option A, you should plan to deliver the completed features every 2 weeks. So option A is saying that you will work in a 2 weeks iteration slash sprints, and whatever you finish in 2 weeks, at the end of a 2 week, you will deliver to the business. Yeah, that's what they are saying. Option A. Let's see option B. Plan by identifying small group of features that can be released incrementally to deliver business value. Now, this option is focusing on identifying minimum viable product or minimum business increment. And it is saying that yes, there could be many features which are planned in this area because it's a known domain. So we can list down those features, but we need to group those features that, okay, since it's a new product, that this section, these three features makes a logical entity. Let's release them when these feature get ready. Afterwards, also, if we have five features, we will group them and release them as they get ready. So, for example, it may not be a good idea to just release a login feature. It may not be a good idea if you are selling something and a website is all about selling a product. Just search of the product until unless the checkout of the product is not ready. So this option B is stressing on identifying minimum viable product or a minimum business increments, and that could be a group of features. So looks great idea to me till now. Option C, develop the features in sequence of business value and release them as they becomes ready. So it is more than A. A was telling that I will develop the features and whatever gets done in a 2 weeks time, we will deliver it. It is further refining. We will develop the features in the sequence of business value. So that is like we will group of features which will be business value identified, and we will release them as soon as the individual feature gets done. So ideally, the option C has a one good number a word, which is saying we will sequence them as per business value. Option B was not clearly mentioning that we will sequence it as per the business value. The option B was saying we will group them, but we will incrementally deliver business value. That part was clearly coming, and but this option C is has a negative idea, which is saying each feature we will deliver it. So even if the checkout feature has a great business value, but I can't release a checkout feature till the time search feature is not done. So developing in the sequence of business value looks okay, but releasing also as soon as one feature gets done, and especially when we are in a new project, new product development, it is not something existing in place, may not be always feasible. So I still see the B has an advantage because it is helping us to identify MVP and MBIs. Option D, propose the establishment of a review board for approving the release of the features incrementally. So it may be a further extension of B. We are saying that we will propose something, or there is a group, whenever they will say that this chunk is ready, we will release it. So ideally, we can have a product owner who is becoming this review part, and you can say that there is a release management group, and release management group will keep looking at things, and whenever they say that release, we will release it. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah, it is possible thing. You can do it, but we can start with the planning also rather than letting this board and find out in details. But it's a possible thing which might happen in some of the organization. So I do see there is a close call between B, C, and especially D and A. I think all are possible alternatives. But since the question seems to be touching on grouping the idea and MVP and MBI, so I go with option B because option C is the closest, comes next to it, but it is just focusing on immediately delivering the feature one by one. So the option B looks the great idea here. This question is also mapped to process domain task one, where we are saying execute project with urgency required to deliver business value. It is focusing on assess opportunity to deliver business value incrementally. We should always aspire to do that. And it also focuses on support the team to subdivide project tasks as necessary to find the minimum viable product or maybe a minimum business increment. So we need to have that chunk as per the business value sequence which delivers and help us in acquiring the market share. So we go with option B in this particular case.